Happy New Year and welcome to the very first media review segment of 2018. I'm Eunice Johnson, and our focal point on today's segment is a retrospect of 2017 with regards to the performance of journalists and how, what we look forward to, what we expect of them this year, 2018. My guest is Paul Ella Abechi. He is the chairman NUJ FCT Council. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's also the senior associate editor for African Leadership magazine. So today we'll be looking at what the journalists did last year and what we expect of them this year. And someone once said to me that the best phrase for a worker, aside "I love you," is "salary has been paid." The moment they hear that, it is something that awakens them. So maybe we should take off on the from the area of welfare. Welfare salaries of journalists. What has you are the chairman of NUJ FCT Council. What was done? What would you? How would you rate the welfare salary issues that were raised last year with regards to journalists? And would you say that any improvement was recorded in that regard last year?
Well, let me say happy 2018 to everyone. The issue of salary is very worrisome in 2017. And when I came on board, it was one of the issues that we took up immediately. We started by writing to the media houses that are not paying. We picket some, and thereafter we've engaged the Ministry of Labour, and the minister then had to set up a committee that the AUJ, Ministry of Labour, and the NLC, they made up of that committee. And since then we've engaged some of these media houses in discussing to see how the reasons why they are not paying salaries of our members. And they keep on promising. And I find out, particularly, this will not happen in 2018 because most of the agreement reached by these stakeholders, they did not meet up with them. The situation still remains the way it is. Now, come to look at the profession and the challenges in it. More worrisome is the fact that in these media houses, those at the managerial level, at the management level, who are they? They are journalists. 70 to 30% are journalists in all media houses. The situation that is disturbing is journalists sabotaging journalists. If those in the management level are dancing to the tune of the politicians that own these media houses and to the detriment of their colleagues, other journalists that are working, that is very disturbing, where you find out selective payments are being made, and those that are really going up and doing to see that they meet up with their beats responsibility that is assigned to them, and at the end of the day, they are not the one that receive salary. A few have received at the management level, then they now leave the rest.
Yes, even aside the selective payment, the area of self-censorship, where the ownership, he who pays the piper dictates the tune, and you find you just rightly mentioned now that somehow the owner has an influence on the operation.
Now let me tell you how AUJ operates. We have chapels at every media houses that have the same hierarchy with the one we have at the council where I chair. It is expected of each chapel in every organization to have a voice for our members. Let them have grip of every staff working in every media organization. So we have NUJ chapels in all these media organizations. But what they do is to weaken this chapel and make sure that they don't have a voice, is to weaken them in the sense that divide them, and you will now see what is playing out. They become afraid of those at the managerial level. They don't have a firm grip. They are supposed to be one. They are not one, because some are sabotaging the efforts of the union to stand with one voice, and it's very disturbing. Now, if, for instance, those that are group managing editor, those that are managing editor, it doesn't take anything if they stand and say, tomorrow we're not going to work, and 2 days they shut down the place. You call the attention of the council weighed in and give you her support. I think the management will call for a roundtable where issues will be discussed and reached at. But in a situation where those senior journalists occupying this position left other journalists when they are being taken care of, and if they are not being taken care of, why are they not sounding with one voice? I told them at the Congress the last time, if the chapels fails, you as individuals write to the council, attach your letter of employment, let us have a copy at the union, and let us know your complaint. And we will go out. Peaceful protest is allowed. And we will picket this media house, and to ensure that we are heard and why we decide to come out. Now the situation is, journalists that are affected are not ready to come out to stand by the union to fight for their right. They still want to protect the job that they are not being paid for. Why are they trying to protect the job that they are not being paid for 2 years? I still find it very difficult to understand and to believe this systemic kind of endemic slavery.
That's a very sensitive area though, but maybe subsequently we'll still come to that. But let's also look into other areas, which one of those that's you cannot take away the fact that professionalism is inevitable in any profession, professionalism, training and all. So how would you rate the level of training, sensitization programs, professionalism, the level in 2017, the level of professionalism amongst journalists, and what efforts have been put in place to ensure that there is improvement in that area this year?
Well, in the area of training, the EU head delegation in Nigeria, in Abuja here, have engaged us. We have benefited from training on how the EU works. They have trained us up to 3 times. We have equally enjoyed and benefited training from U.S. Embassy. They took some of our members to Adamawa State, Yola, the last time. And we equally have enjoyed training from the Federation of African Journalists, training on women, the safety of women that are practiced in journalism. And you know, as Abuja, we are the host of the president, and the president of NUJ is equally the president of Federation of African Journalists. So he has been able to attract this training that is being sponsored by the Norwegian Embassy, and the other one was sponsored by Starcoms. And most of this training, we never had it like this before. The union have really, in 2017, enjoyed training from these 3 different organizations.
Was the training open to all journalists?
It was open to all journalists. There's another training that the 4th one, I think, that is meant for diplomatic correspondence, that the diplomatic, I think, magazine organizes that, and with assistance from Chinese embassy. That training was purely for diplomatic reporters. I think that is the one that wasn't too open for every other journalist.
But like you mentioned, some of these trainings, it appears there are many journalists who might not have been aware of these trainings, even those that are registered with the NUJ. So are there, what are you doing to ensure that this year a lot of people will be aware of any training that is coming up for journalists?
we have a platform. The union have a platform where we exchange correspondences and informations. So if you're an active member, whatever comes up that has to do with the union is on that platform, and at the same time we have other mediums where we communicate to ourselves. In that area, except those that didn't get to know, the ones that are not active members or the ones that are not following the activities of the union. For those that are, every information that we need to pass out, we have enough channels to pass such information out, and it gets to our members.
Okay, what were generally now, what were those setbacks recorded last year that you feel needs to be worked upon this year to prevent a repetition of such?
The measure in 2018 that we are going to take for the issue of those media houses that are not paying salary will be totally different from the measure we've taken in 2017 that haven't yielded result. Now we are compiling the names of those working in these various media houses. I've told them, and I'm using this medium to let them know, that the union is up to her feet to see that this did not continue in 2018. Write to the union. Put your letter of employment, a photocopy. Let the union have your resume on working in that organization. So we will be able to know who we are fighting for. And they should endeavor to come out. I give you an instance where we went picketing, and the publisher said, these people that came here, none of my staffs are among them. Who are they? So we need the support of the affected journalist. You don't expect the union to go with my 8 ESCO members fighting for you. Who are we fighting
randomly,
for?
Yes.
They just have to come out.
But could you come up with a yes or no answer to this? For what you just said, that anybody should bring their CV as a journalist if you want to.
If you know you are affected, you're not paid.
Must you be registered, or it could be as far as you're a journalist, you can do this?
You must be a member before you enjoy the support of the NUJ.
All right, that is one important thing. In as much as so many journalists would hear this and be agitating to want to bring their matters forward to the NUJ, you should also take note of the fact that you must be a registered member of the union. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. It's been enlightening speaking with you. We've been talking about the year 2017 in retrospect and what we expect from journalists in 2018. Thank you for your company.
Wow, I hope you had it insightful on the first episode of Insight for 2018.
Yes, same here, but we hope. I just want to tell you that 2018 is right before you. It's up to you to do with it what you will. So make the most of it as we begin a beautiful year ahead.
It's going to be very eventful on Insight, because I believe as Nigeria slid into recession, came out of recession, a lot of policies are going to take place within the period under review to ensure that we sustain where we are, and we believe based on that, a lot of issues that will be very insightful will be coming up on discussion, interview, and media review segment on Insight. And that I will say, on behalf of all of us, thanks for watching, and always be our guest.